Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. Okay, 1,700 removed from his barracks room on Fort Bliss. That building, remember that it had that security seal on it, and that is what we believe is the crime scene. When they forcibly removed him from the barracks and took him downstairs to the arms room, and he lost his life. And it was torturous, and it was because he was a whistleblower. He was a whistleblower, and more information is coming out. We have breaking news today, several pieces of breaking news. We have double, triple breaking news today. Um, like every day, and I'm not joking. It's every day is new information that's coming out because things are happening. Things are happening. For example, I can give you some breaking news with the Commission on Judicial Conduct. We received information today that Sylvia Brunda Firth, who she was fired from uh, the city attorney's office there in El Paso with allegations of misconduct, and was then appointed to the, can you believe this? You just can't make this stuff up. Appointed to the Commission on Judicial Conduct, which is very important in the Walmart case and Richard's case with, judicial misconduct in El Paso. And so we've been dealing with that. Of course, we have been reporting that we are identifying crime, documenting crime, filing um, the crime. It's very, very busy in the background. And we have, I can't even tell you the files and files that we have. And to keep up with all of that and all the emails and the back and forth and the timelines and everything. So yeah, that's happening behind the scenes. This is a team effort, family team effort, and we received this amazing news today that uh, that the decision has been made that it will be removed from the Commission on Judicial Conduct. Now, it was supposed to go until like I think 2028 or 2029. But she is no longer going to be there. She is leaving. So this is what Trump's new administration is doing, and of course, it's influencing Governor Abbott's administration. And I guess they decided that they're going to clean up the Commission on Judicial Conduct, that they're sick and tired of letting this judicial misconduct go unanswered, go unaddressed. I mean, why are taxpayers paying for this commission if they're not going to do their job? And so there's a lot going on behind the scenes. And I think it's very important for everyone to know that Sylvia Brunda Firth, who was part of um, uh, the city attorney's office in El Paso, was fired from that office with allegations of misconduct. And now her position there at the Commission on Judicial Conduct is also being terminated. Okay. Not the position, but that she's being removed and she will be replaced. So that is really a huge breaking news, very good news. Um, and we need someone in there that has not had allegations of misconduct. You know, That's not what we need there for the commission. So, so that is, there's just so much breaking news. I mean, that right there is a jaw dropper. That right there, we could talk hours just on the Commission on Judicial Conduct and the most corrupt judge in El Paso history, Judge Sam Madrano, and what he all did wrong is so corrupt, so compromised in the Walmart mass shooting case that led to, just total botched. Everything's botched. All the seals and the deals and the backroom deals and the gag order. Remember the gag order and uh, doing these deals with Joe Spencer for the open checkbook. I mean, charging, allowing years and years to go by for what? For a defective plea deal. That's what they are. And no trial date, and millions of dollars in open checkbook money from taxpayers, um, grand theft larceny. And that all needs to be addressed. And that now, with the removal of Sylvia Brunda Firth, that's getting closer. That's getting closer to get accountability. You see, there were cover ups over cover ups, um, and the biggest cover up of the cover up of the cover up is Bob Moore. He's the Jefe Capo. He is the fixer, right? He is, um, someone that will target, will manufacture, will fabricate, will use unreliable sources from his team, uh, create it with his team. Lilani Hart's on his team. Rosa Maria's on his team. I mean, they are, those that targeted us. Absolutely have very close relationship with him. The latest being Michael Cordero, the retired FBI agent, buddy. I mean, with Bob Moore of El Paso Matters. I mean, they're just matter of fact. I think that Bob Moore put him up to it with Minerva to try to spin more false information about the Walmart mass shooting case, which is Richard's case. They're intertwined. I can't say it's exactly that. They're intertwined. They're intertwined. And so, anytime false narratives are being put out about the Walmart case, false narratives are absolutely, it's kind of like a cancer going into Richard's case. So, this is huge news, and Bob Moore is at it again. He really is at it again with the FitFam, the deletion, the FitFam deletion by Meta. He is going up against Meta. Bob Moore is going up against Meta, trying to say that he can control that company. He's gonna go try to protect Jules Chan. We're the ones that discovered who Jules Chan is. Um, with the uh, expired LLC, and the epic behind him, and his brother, his brothers, Jed, Jed Eric. Um, so, and now Bob Moore, wants to keep him anonymous. They don't want people to know uh who Jules Chan is. And he's pulling another Mayella. We can't tell the public who the Mayellas are. No one needs to know that the Mayellas are Patrick Crucius's family, that they were in the DA's office, they were in the FBI's office, they were at Walmart cybersecurity and mental health care, and also in the federal courthouse. Their tampering with the case is just extraordinary. It's just, you know, it, how can I explain it? This is such a criminal cartel tied syndicate. It's a cartel criminal syndicate that are engaged in all kinds of criminal activity, and Richard was reporting it. Richard was reporting, and I even believe now, because evidence is coming in and it's really pointing to it. And I'm not going to use the word confirm, even though I want to say that word, but I'm not going to do it yet until it's totally confirmed. That Richard knew that, it's looking like it. I really believe this, and I'll let you know when it's totally 100% that Dallas Hart had something to do as some role that he played in the Walmart mass shooting. And we know that Jules Chan was there as a responder, to it. And we know that Jules Chan had a huge role in the healthcare for the emergency intake center called the death camp. And we know that DES Thomas Kane told um, confirmed that the security was totally broken at the emergency intake center, that it had been totally compromised, and that's why you have so many tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of children that were trafficked and that are now mostly not alive. Even though there is a report out from Tom Homan, the border czar, saying that they are trying to locate more and more and more. They're locating more and more of these children, but that a lot of them are believed to be no more alive. And we know through JFK Jr. That the HHS was involved under the Biden administration, the criminal kid trafficking. So he confirmed that, and then yesterday he said that these children were being taken to a strip joint, and then empty parking lot with the containers, the moving storage containers. The military calls them tactical move storage units. So it is really heartbreaking, um, because we don't know where these children are, and being all my duties that I've had in my life, I can tell you this right now. Children require a lot of care. They require a lot of care. You can't just traffic children. They require care, a lot of care. And this is just so heartbreaking. And that's why so many are now believed to be no longer alive. It is the most inhumane criminal situation. Um, it really makes us work uh, it makes us work harder behind the scenes to get the answers to all of this. And absolutely, Richard would never tolerate that. And we know that he called multiple times Child Protective Services, which is directly connected to Ann Ogle of Fort Bliss Youth Services. Um, and I really I really think she's implicated now in this. And so then and it just goes on and on, all of this breaking news that connects Jules Chan to this terrible criminal group. And he's absolutely connected to Bob Moore and granting Bob Moore an interview as long as Bob Moore keeps him anonymous. This is where Bob Moore absolutely knows so many details about what has happened and who Jules Chan is and what was on his LinkedIn and his role in the Walmart case and his role with the death camp and um, his role in the harassment of our son and our family. He knows that, and he's not reporting it, and he knows that that we because the LLC was forfeiture that we then got it. Then we got it. Uh, it's to expose, really, to expose that they work illegally. They work illegally, and Meta, the information finally, investigations caught up, and now Bob Moore wants to tell Meta what to do, and Meta has a legal team. Meta Meta has a legal team, and they did the right thing because FitFam El Paso was violating so many community standards, right? And laws. And I think that Bob Moore needs to be banned for life for challenging Meta and their legal team. He's not their boss. He's not their boss. And for trying to pull another Mayella anonymous, we need to be anonymous, the Chan brothers, because the Chan brothers, just happen to have the same name as Zuckerberg's wife. But it's just, I don't know, whatever. Um, but it's just Bob Moore is clearly, this is what you can absolutely know, take to the bank, that Bob Moore is disgraced and he is up to no good and he's a jefe and he lies and he lies and he manipulates and he lies and he hides information from the public, like the Mayellas, like the Chans. He hides that information. He hides information of Richard being designated in the line of duty and what all that means. He absolutely hid the fact that he's connected to uh, the company that is in court for deceptive practices that is connected to Richard's car. So he is just always hiding information, trying to deceive the public, which violates his 501c3. See, he wants to be political, he wants to be manipulative, like a tabloid, but he also wants to have the benefits of a 501c3 without following the regulations of it. Without following the regulations, he wants all the benefits. Law for you, but a different standard for me. I want it all, and I don't want to follow the rules. I want to make my own rules, and I want to challenge Meta. I want to challenge Zuckerberg. That's what he's saying. And he needs to be banned for life. If I was Zuckerberg, I would ban him for life because of the crimes that he has committed and what he's trying to do, manipulate Facebook or and Instagram for FitFam El Paso. Um, um, uh, well, really for Jules Chan and Epic, right? Because they uh, can affect elections, they can affect policies, they can affect contracts, and everything from when you have a platform of 700,000 followers, you just have a lot of power. So, so Bob Moore is really, I would say, he is the problem. He is the problem. He's the problem in all of this. With Manny Chavira, the chief of police for ISD, who is absolutely also up to no good. With the auto group LLC that's in court for deceptive practices, with El Paso Community Foundation that was um, given the charge of over $12 million in Walmart mass shooting victims funds, and was under investigation for their fraudulent distribution of that money to unqualified individuals, even those that have foreign nationals. This is everywhere you turn. When you look at Leilani Hart, Bob Moore is there. You look at money fraud, Bob Moore is there. You look at LLC fraud and deceptive practices, Bob Moore is there. You look at fake news, and Bob Moore is there. You look at interference at the DA's office, Bob Moore is there. You look at interference with judges, Bob Moore is there. If you look at, um, you know, the Mayella's, Bob Moore is there. Bob Moore was there. That means fraud at the FBI, fraud at the DA, fraud in the federal courthouse in El Paso. Bob Moore is there. Fraud at UTEP, at KTEP. Bob Moore is there because Kathleen Gannon, that's his wife, and all the fraud. You look at Danae Katz, and Bob Moore is there. You look at Fort Bliss, and Bob Moore is there. You look at the fraud and the false narrative that he put out when it comes to Richard's case, the interference with Richard's case, an ongoing murder case that's not resolved yet, and he's there trying to manipulate it and trying to obstruct it, right? And get a false narrative to the public, because we are a government of the people, by the people, for the people, and that's how we work in this country. And so if they're controlling the minds of the people, by the people, for the people, if they're controlling that, and they're controlling uh, what they do, their actions that they take, and what they're thinking, because they're controlling the information coming out to them, and they don't have the full story. They only have half the story, or not even the right story, maybe just a totally fake story, a fabricated story, a manufactured story. This is what President Trump is up against. He gets so frustrated because he knows we are a government of the people, by the people, for the people, and the people need to get a real information out there. I would say an eclectic amount of information out there, so that the people can decide for themselves. But they want to keep the truth in Richard's case, and even with the bombing of Iran, they want to keep the truth out of the minds of the people, and they want to manipulate. And that's what Bob Moore is doing in El Paso. He is there all over the place, uh, making um, making the world a worse place. That's what he's doing. Injustice, lies, manipulation, interference, obstruction, targeting, um, fix, protecting pedophiles, protecting um, the whole emergency intake center, protecting compromised generals, protecting billionaires that are up to no good, protecting um, the exploitation of people coming over the border that are being lied to, and brought over illegally, and so then they're illegal, and then they have to worry, and they're always worrying, and it's just a terrible, and they can be exploited, and they can be blackmailed, and they can be made to do things that they would not normally do. It is just he's just up to no good, and he needs to be held accountable for what he's done. And this is it's very clear to see, very clear. And there's so much more to it. There's so much more to it. Um, so I'm asking, I'm just telling you what we've been through because of Bob Moore is absolute hell. Absolute hell. And he's probably enjoying that fact because he's trying to cover up um, justice for Richard. That's what he's trying to do. So it's not working though. It's not working. And you see that with uh, FitFam El Paso being taken down. That's the canary in the coal mine, right? It's a good indication of what's going on. And the same thing with Sylvia Brundo Firth being removed from her position. Um, that is another canary in the coal mine. And so, really, and then the real breaking news and what I really wanted to talk about because it's just um, what we feared, what was going on. There's been interference with 15 plus agencies in Richard's case, right? We know that the FBI were up to no good. These dirty FBI agents in the El Paso field office. We know that you have Lieutenant Colonel Bradford Bugado up to no good in the G3 of the 32nd ADCOM, and his father-in-law, Nadal Baim, that's connected to the FBI office, connected to now Fort Bliss, connected to Bob Moore, connected to Dallas Hart, connected to the Texas Ranger that was assigned to our case, um, who is connected to cartel, Gustavo Sanchez, the Texas Ranger, and then of course to Manny Chavira through Isis Chavira, Nadal's wife. And they're all cartel connected. They're all up to no good. We know all of this, but now we have the FBI. Um, well, we have confirmation that the healthcare um, institutions have, well, let's just say this: the VA just had a change of command before it was time to have a change of command. They had a change of command. Okay. So President Trump absolutely knows. And that is really important information. But I'm just going to say that the medical care, um, you know, Bob Moore wants to keep, for privacy's sake, Mayella's name out of the press. Oh, for privacy's sake, I want to keep Jules Chan's name out of the press. But for Richard, he violated everything and manipulated everything. And now we have confirmation that there were bad actors in the medical field that weaponized the medical institution against Richard. And more information is going to come out with that because of the forensics, uh, because of the medical examiner, because of the autopsies that we have, because of other information that we know that files were tampered with, and they absolutely weaponized the medical institutions against a whistleblower soldier. Can you believe that? And this, this is not isolated. This is another tool that they look at it as a tool in their criminal um, cabal, right? That's what they look at in order to silence people, in order to erase people, in order to um, protect their criminal syndicate, their organized crime. And so, you know, it's and the connections with it, it's just like, really? Wow, this is HR absolutely involved in this. And so that is coming out. More information about the generals up to no good is coming out. And it's just been really a wonderful day, a wonderful day. And watching President Trump um, have to really, uh, he, I can't even imagine what he's going through. And he's just a master at dealing with the press, because the media is really the problem. They are like um, the wall between truth and justice and the people. And so they are really, and I think people are starting to get that and starting to chip at the wall, or not believe what they say, and um, and so I can tell you right now, Bob Moore, he wants his cake and eat it too. He wants to do his crime, get his 501c3, and then get funding. His funding is well. I'll see if I'm at liberty to say everything right now and all the connections. But they're just up to no good, and he's up to no good. And I just want to let everyone know that. So when you read his stories, uh, you absolutely can see through him, and that you judge him. So thank you, Martha. Thank you so much, Martha, for your prayers and your love. God will do justice, and God is good. Yes. And the truth is getting out there. And so thank you for sharing. I see, even though we're shadow banned and we're, and I don't know, I'm probably saying wrong words or whatever. And, but we are absolutely restricted in so many ways. But the truth is still getting out there. They can't stop the truth. And so thank you so much for sharing. Thank you for so much for just talking with your neighbors about this. Um, and we are this the Sylvia Barundo Firth, who's who sits on the Commission on Judicial Conduct. Her being removed is very big. Okay, that is really big in getting accountability. And then FitFam El Paso coming down is also very big in changing the way information is delivered to the people of El Paso, and to the surrounding area, and even more people that want to know about El Paso. So you have 700,000 people. That's a pretty large number, right? To have that much, how do they get that much money? That many people. They must have been supported, right? So for those people to be freed now from Jules Chan is good news. Very, very good news. And it tells you that there's a lot of things happening behind the scenes. Um, thank you so much. Um, God bless you, and just stay very vigilant when it comes to your health care. Very vigilant, because something is not good going on in our medical institutions. Thank you so much. God bless.